It is the first time a studio's had the biggest 5 movies of the year. And while we're on the topic, we're going to discuss this later on. It was the weekend of the Fortnite World Cup, and that kind of shows the way in which theatrical releases have more competition, Kara.
Absolutely. Fortnite, my kids play Fortnite, although they've gone off of it a little bit. And maybe it's just the summer. But what's really interesting about Disney is in terms of hitting on all cylinders here, Bob Iger really is one of the most talented executives around. And I think what's interesting, we talked about this on Pivot last week. Scott Galloway, who I do that podcast with, before the Lion King opened, he says no matter what the reviews are, and the reviews have been mixed, it looks a little creepy, I have not seen it, they're going to do well because people trust in the Disney brand, they trust in the Disney experience. And so whenever you try a Disney product, largely you're very satisfied with it, especially if you have kids. And, you know, I saw all the Marvel movies, every single one of them, and they're beautifully executed. They've got Star Wars. They've got so many brands. And I think it'll be interesting to see how they do in this streaming platform because their history online has been pretty spotty. And so it'll be interesting to see if they can take those learnings from previously and use this incredible trove of content and marketing savvy and make it into a success.
Kara, I actually think that Disney is a good example of the dynamic that we were talking about just a couple minutes ago. I mean, writ large in digital, in content, nobody's thinking about Disney as being a monopolist. But if you're in the theater business, with the kind of year that Disney is having and the fingers that it has in various spots, you might be getting concerned about its market power just in that narrow theater market, right?
Yeah, well, I hadn't thought of that. That's really interesting. There are a lot of entertainment competitors all over the world, not just, this is a global business, obviously. So there's competitors all over the world, and there are things like Fortnite, there are things like Minecraft, there are things like YouTube. You know, I just have anecdotal thing of watching my kids. They spend much more time on YouTube than they do at the movies and things like that. So it's an interesting time, and you're right. In the traditional sense, they really do dominate. But in the entertainment market, I don't think you feel, or the people's time market, I don't know if it's the entertainment market anymore. I think they have plenty of competitors and lots of choices. They just are making content people love, which is really fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, just to even dig into that a little bit further, Kara, when you look at these 5 biggest movies of the year that are all Disney, 4 out of 5 are either remakes or sequels, and the 5th one is also based on content that started as a comic book series as well. And I think it just begs the question, where is the original content being created and where is it going to? And it seems like it's not so much at the box office in terms of what's driving sales there.
Well, it's interesting. My kid yesterday, he hasn't seen Lion King. He's 14 years old. He's gone to all Disney movies since he's been growing up. And I said, do you want to go to it? He goes, why can't they think of a new idea? I'd like a new, it was weird. We were driving and I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, they made the Lion King and now they're making a live action one. I just don't, I'm not, you know, a lot of these, which was really interesting. Aladdin, the same thing. He didn't go see it. Now he's an older kid in that regard. But it was interesting that he wanted more new content from them, which was, I found that really interesting for him to say that.